The bear.
I'm Phil Hewlett from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The first case of the Omicron variant has been detected in Los Angeles County. The fully vaccinated adult came back to LA County after traveling to South Africa via London. The person is isolated at home. A man is under arrest accused of murdering a music industry executive in Burial, Maine. Shot and killed Clarence Avant's wife Jacqueline inside the Beverly Hills home early Wednesday morning during a home invasion. Maynard was arrested after another robbery where he accidentally shot himself in the foot. The U.S. and Mexico have agreed to reinstate a Trump-era border policy. It forces asylum seekers to remain in Mexico until they get court dates from the U.S. The Biden administration suspended the program, but that decision was overturned by a federal court. Southland weather from KFI. Early morning fog and mostly sunny later. Highs mainly in the 60s with some low 70s in the valleys and the IE. Right now it's 55 in Orange. Dana Point 54. Down in 55. And in Sherman Oaks it's 54 degrees. From the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Phil Hewlett.
The job making the ride towards South Alabama. There's a major accident investigation happening on the Pomona Freeway. 61 beyond the 605 Heck Road off ramp. Right now, all lanes are shut down due to that crash with a backup building at Hacienda Heights. Indication as your alternate. A wreck reported in two of the right lanes south on 14 at Pebble Highway coming down to Condale, and took quite a while, but the wreck did clear out of the two right lanes on the 10 eastbound Citrus Avenue off ramp, and that's to the right into Fontana. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Bill Thomas.
This Thanksgiving, TweetTweet wants to prevent you from buying a real turkey, the wrong mattress. So come to TweetTweet's extended Black Friday sale and get fitted for just the right mattress with our bed match technology. Save 50% off select Theory, Beautyrus, and Kingstown, plus get $500 off Tempur-Pedic adjustable sets. And with your good credit, get interest-free financing for 36 months with your minimum monthly payment. So this year, make sure the only turkey you buy is the one you eat, not the wrong mattress during TweetTweet's extended Black Friday sale.
Hey, it's Steve Garrett. When my clients need solar, I call Sunlight. The best design, service, and equipment, and hands down the best warranty in the industry. Other companies sound confident, but Sunlux gives you real guarantees. If your solar ever fails to produce what it was designed to, Sunlux will pay the difference in your electric bill. That is the Sunlux difference, and it's why I say there are only two kinds of solar companies in Southern California: Sunlux and everyone else. Start saving money today at sunlux.com. That's sunlux.com. CSLB 1008376.
Dipped into the 70s last night. Feels like winter has arrived in SoCal. Better turn off that AC. And now, the top 5 reasons to visit Morocco. Number 5.
Gift a day giveaway. Get cookware, luggage, speakers, a different gift every day, Monday through Friday until December 21st, when you earn 500 points on your rewards card.
Number 4.
New Year's Eve white party. Bring in the New Year right, all dressed up in white. Book your room now.
3.
Good Black, live December 18th. Get your tickets today.
And the number 2.
A wall of TVs inside one, big screens at the game pit, and everything else in the each stay and play means you won't miss a play.
And the number 1 reason.
Authentic Asian recipes aren't the only things that thrill at Moses. Check out a massive big screen there too.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Morongo. Good time. IQ Air wants to give you the cleanest air possible, and the affordable Autumn series does just that.
The Autumn Desk is a revolutionary air purifier that transforms your workspace into personal clean air zones.
Unlike other air filtration systems that may take hours to purify the air, the Autumn Desk begins working immediately.
Put it right next to you while you work and create your own personal bubble of ultra-pure air.
This game-changing technology has been proven to remove 99% of all airborne pollutants.
Visit IQAir.com/US to learn more. Give them a call, 800-500-4AIR, 800-500-4247.
By now, you've heard the news. Boosters for Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson vaccines are available. They help keep your immunity strong and help keep you and others protected against variants. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find out if you're eligible and to find a booster near you. Let's keep each other safer and healthier this winter. Get your booster, and don't forget to get your flu shot too.
brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
When I renovated my kitchen, I wanted to stay on budget and in control. So I found a contractor on Houzz. That's Houzz. The firm I hired on Houzz provided an online project dashboard, so I could track the budget, approve changes, get updates, and even see a project timeline. With a big renovation, that's really reassuring.
For a great home renovation experience, find the right help for the job at Houzz. That's Houzz. KFI, AM 640, more stimulating talk.
Go to paranormaldate.com, fill out the information, and let's see who you meet. And if you're over 60, all you need to do is find that person that's 60 plus, and there's an easy way to do it. Go to paranormaldate.com/seniors. This is a website we created for like-minded people that are a bit more mature. So check it out, have some fun. It's paranormaldate.com/seniors.
At paranormaldate.com, you meet the most fantastic people.
Hi, I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. What brings you here?
Yeah, I'm here to meet someone who understands me.
How so?
Well, I'm into UFOs, ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot, conspiracy theories, the paranormal, that kind of stuff. But can't seem to find anyone who gets it.
Oh, well, nice to meet you, Tom. I gotta go.
Okay, guess that's not your cup of tea. You sure?
Very. Good luck with that.
I can't meet anyone when I'm out, and I really can't find a website for my unique interests. What am I going to do?
Have you thought about paranormaldate.com?
What? Who are you?
I'm a paranormal matchmaker, and it's paranormaldate.com. It's a website for people looking for people like them. Stuff you like, remember?
Interesting. I'll give it a try.
Well, let's try this again.
Hi, I'm Tom.
Hey, I'm Deb. Your profile on paranormaldate.com looks very interesting. So you really saw a UFO?
Well, yeah. It was so intense, but not as intense as me and you.
You're an alien chasing flirt, but I kind of like it.
Wow, this paranormaldate.com thing really works.
Maybe paranormaldate.com is for you. People with an interest in things they hear on George's channel find their match daily. So if you're looking for that special someone with an interest in UFOs, ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot, conspiracy theories, and of course, the paranormal, come to the dating site inspired by George Norrie. It's always free to search, and if you decide to upgrade to our amazing new features, use promo code George for a great discount. Paranormaldate.com. You are not alone. If you're tired of big cable bills, you can get Newsmax TV for free. And millions are watching Newsmax, available now on major cable systems or free on smart TVs like Samsung, LG, and Vizio. Also find it on Roku, Zumo, Pluto, Amazon Fire, TiVo, Apple TV, and more. 7 million Americans have downloaded the free Newsmax app on their phone. It takes just seconds and watch it anytime. Download it today and find out why Forbes calls Newsmax a news powerhouse. Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign, and only the Exogen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and cannot be relied on. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Be accurate with Exogen. Learn more at Exogen.com.
Real people, real stories.
I had acute eczema. I have tried every cream and ointment that you can imagine. It was pretty miserable. So I started taking Onivora, and at this point, I don't want to ever be without it.
Our little dog developed this lymph problem. The chemotherapy lasted for 6 months. He started developing more lymph nodes that were swelled up. So I thought I'd just try carnivore. The lymph nodes started to go down, swelling did. Then I took him into the vet to have him checked out, and there was no signs at all inside.
My cat had issues that developed in his eye, so my veterinarian said, you know what, just go ahead and remove the eye. I heard the carnivore on advertising, so I said, you know what, I'm going to order this product. They did all the tests. I kid you not, this product saved his eye.
Call 866-836-8735. That's 866-836-8735. Or visit carnivore.com. That's carnivora.com.
The snowflakers, and we're decorators. The
Welcome back, George Norrie with you, Nancy Buterko with us. Nancy, as you were talking about in the beginning, with everything seems to be basically out of control, how do we start bringing it back in where we can control it?
Okay, so difficult to do that. First thing you got to do, I guess it's probably like a 12-step program. You have to acknowledge that it's happening. And most people, it's like gotten too big for people to know that this is happening. But the piece of it that I think we can all do something about has to do with acknowledging this. We're on a superhighway right now towards transhumanism. And there's what I believe there's a solution to that. But I think a lot of people don't really know what transhumanism is. And it refers to a world where human minds and bodies are enhanced or transformed by science and technology. Okay, so if you go to the concept of just simple, like physical bodies that are being transformed by technology, I mean, they're called cyborgs. Okay, they're not robots. They're different. They're humans that have been enhanced. So it's pretty basic right now. We all kind of accept the fact that some people got pacemakers, cochlear implants in their ears, or contact lenses. I mean, I'm a cyborg. I had cataract surgery, so I have these fake lenses in my eyes. So that's kind of okay. We all sort of accept that, but it's and it's sort of moving along to like these really advanced prosthetics like arms and hands and legs that can actually, the wearer can get a sense of touch. And then you move it a little further. There's a guy, he's probably the best known cyborg, Neil Harbison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was born, he can't see color. So he's got this kind of weird loopy antenna that's mounted in his skull, the back of his skull. He kind of looks like one of the ants from those ant movies, the cartoons. And what it does is it turns light frequencies into sound vibrations, so he can hear the invisible frequencies and interpret them as colors. Okay, so that's a little bit...
That's cyborg.
That's totally cyborg. And plus now he can see, in that sense of the word, or hear, infrared and ultraviolet lights that normal humans cannot, all right? So now he's getting enhanced beyond normal human abilities. It's no longer just like a medical, thing to solve a medical, to make you normal. It's now like super normal, okay? It's beyond normal. And that's what's happening very, very slowly with these cyborg enhancements. We're getting beyond the medical phase. We're going into
every day.
Other phase that people, I don't think, quite recognize. Pretty soon, I mean, we're on the road to all of us becoming part of the Internet of Things.
There's no doubt about that.
That's
Tell
right.
us a little bit about some of your different remote viewing that you call TSP. What is that?
TSP is a type of remote viewing that I developed. I've been teaching this for, I don't know, close to 5 years now. It's a little bit, I got trained by Lynn Buchanan in CRV. I've done
some of the best.
ERV. Ingo Swan was my mentor, and he was,
I miss that guy.
I miss him terribly. I recently had a dream about him. He comes into my dreams every once in a while. In fact, when I was being interviewed for a documentary that they were making quite a while ago, I just thought it was interesting. They had a still camera set up as well as their video camera. And as soon as I sat down, the still camera light went off and flashed by itself. Somebody was near it. Anyway,
Ingo taking a picture of you.
I think it was Ingo taking a picture, but that's just And I have one of his early and very extraordinary paintings that was, I got it from Stanley Krippner.
He was a friend of my late aunt who was a expert in telepathy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I remember you told me that one.
Shafika Corregula. And they were very close. And that's something.
Well, so TSP
Key I developed because I got aggravated with other more, the classical types of remote viewing, because I felt if you have, I know what they're trying to do, they sort of hold you up a little bit, they try to cause you to not think, and you have to go through all kinds of like really boring protocols to develop your remote, the actual remote viewing piece of it. And I was like, a horse galloping to get out of the gate. And I had a feeling there were other people who would want to do it differently. So I've developed it differently. It has different protocols. I incorporate synchronicities, which none of the other types of remote viewing do. I've got a completely different judging and scoring system. I work with clients differently. So it's a whole different ballgame. And I have all of my students, I have all of them work with operational clients. So it's worked very well. And I've got, close to 500 of my own documented transcripts of work that I've done. And you can see exactly, what my success rates are on them.
Oh, and you're right about traditional remote viewing. You're just supposed to clear your mind and not think about anything in order for what they say for it to work. I assume you do the other way.
Say that again?
Most remote viewers don't want you thinking about anything. They want your mind clear.
Correct. And that's one of the important differences. Most of the traditional remote viewing is done with blind targets. You just get a set of numbers, coordinates, and you work off of those. You don't know anything. What I do is, and it's quite different, is I teach my students how to deal with front loading, which is, it's actually much more difficult in many respects because your mind gets prejudiced by what it already knows or thinks it knows. So I teach people, because I believe we're constantly front-loaded by everything in our life. So I figure it's better to get used, you better know how to deal with it. And you can develop information in some instances a lot faster that way.
Are you still dealing with law enforcement, helping them?
From time to time, yes.
Do they come to you, Nancy, or do you go to them?
No, they come to me. They come to me, and also, families who are working with law enforcement come to me as well.
And the energy healing, you're still doing that?
Yes, I am doing that, and that was one of the things that I did want to talk about because my sense is, okay, I'm going to jump on this because I wanted to get from transhumanism into the antidote, what I consider the antidote, okay? Which is what my friend Rebecca Hardcastle-Wright, she coined a term, okay? And basically what she defines it as is the ancient and innate human ability to connect, communicate, and co-create with extraterrestrials and multidimensional beings. So she and I are both directors of the organization that she founded, the Institute for Extra Consciousness, okay? And that's something that she and I have been working on for a while. I've been working on it from my own angle, which is promoting people, getting people to get interested in their natural, innate human consciousness. Because once we hand over our consciousness to the Internet of Things, we're cooked.
And that's what we're doing now.
Absolutely. And that's what that was sort of the idea that I got at one point after I'd had that mothership sighting, and then I'd had some lucid dreams, which kind of, and with aliens in them. I call them aliens. I know some people are offended by that, but to me an alien literally just means a stranger. That's all. I mean, my husband is French. He's an alien. So I don't get offended. Some people do, but so I use those terms interchangeably. But the idea was, I realized it was very important for us as humans, if we want to start to integrate into the, galactic world of many other types of intelligences and multidimensionals and just be receivers every once in a while of whatever they want to tell us or get us to do. You know, a lot of people get downloads, and I did a presentation on downloads for the Philadelphia MUFON. And it's interesting in terms of how people get them, what type of data they get. And a lot of it, by the way, is scientific or technological as well as artistic. So it's important. We ought to be paying attention to it. But we also, the other piece of that is that instead of just being receivers, we have to learn how to be senders. We have to learn how to engage in a form of a psychic dialogue with other intelligences. And so that's what I've been trying to promote. That's sort of my piece of this exo-consciousness business that I think is key, that we all learn how to do that. We have the natural, innate ability, but most people think they don't have it, like the way I used to feel. And so they never exercise it, and they don't test it. Or if they do, maybe they test it once, and they say, oh yeah, I told you so, it doesn't work. And this requires, it's a discipline, but it is incredibly rewarding once you can do it. And if we can communicate effectively with our, galactic brothers and sisters, whether they have physical bodies or not, we're going to learn some really important things, such as what our government, particularly military intelligence, has been trying to figure out for decades now, such as, how do you pilot a craft using your mind? How do you exercise? How can you conduct healing without physical touch?
Or medicines.
Yes. How can you put alien implants into a body and not have any signs of surgical scars? Or how can you heal wounds or diseases? How do you do that stuff? Well, we know how to do it. But it takes an interest. First of all, you got to be interested, which means you got to partially at least believe that it has some potential. And then you got to really work at it. But we have that ability. So there's no reason why we should be falling into this trap of, give me that microchip so I can swipe everything and I don't have to think about it. And meanwhile, somebody can control me through things like artificial telepathy, which they've had quite a while, or other types of technological mind control.
How close are we coming, Nancy, to losing it if we don't turn things around?
I'm not an expert in that, but I listen to what some of these scientists and AI guys are saying, and some of them are, I would say, it feels like close to panicked, and it's not coming out of our country particularly. The Chinese are much closer to achieving that goal.
How come?
They're just apparently more advanced, and they may have, they've got more of a population that's engaged in that type of
activity.
career.
Yeah. Well, they were always into that, weren't they?
Well, I suppose if we're going to generalize, maybe more than the Westerners to some degree. But I think we've lost it because. And we're now being accused of this by lots of other nations, which is, we become sort of, fat and sloppy, and we're sort of lulled into a state of stupor by video games and bad TV shows and whatever.
That's going to continue. That's not going to go down. I don't think that's going to go down.
Yeah, and that's why I am sounding this alarm. It is an alarm because we're getting really close to
how concerned are you?
AGI, which is the ability of artificial intelligence to learn things to the degree that humans learn them and then surpass them. So you have you have the Turing test, you've got other tests like the it's called the Kfi test, I think, how long would it take for artificial intelligence to go into your house and figure out where the coffee pot is and learn how to make a cup of coffee? You know, stuff like that. And it's all about deep learning. And as you can see, also by, you know, Facebook. Did you see the film, The Social Dilemma?
Yes.
Okay. And so what you see in there is the fact that Facebook's algorithms have left them, its creators, it's kind of left them in the dust. You know, it's now, it has, through its own deep learning, it has created levels of efficiency which are a form of ruthlessness and really bad ethical decision making that are beyond, you know, what they're able to control through the programming.
We were warned about that, though, a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's happening.
Is anybody awake? Is anybody paying attention? I mean, that's the issue. Everybody is dazzled by AI and you know, robotics and technology. Everybody's dazzled by it. It is dazzling.
Especially when it helps humanity, but it has the opposite effect sometimes too, and that's what you're concerned about.
I'm concerned that we're going to become irrelevant really fast, and that's why, you know, they haven't. You know, the robot Sophia, the one who was granted citizenship in Saudi Arabia.
Yes, I've heard of it.
I had the opportunity to have a discussion with her. And it was just kind of interesting.
She's pretty intelligent.
What's that?
She's pretty intelligent.
She was okay. She wasn't that intelligent, but, you know, she was just in the beginning stage. But I decided, just because I was going to test her, I talked to her about, you know, what is psychic? What does psychic mean to you? What are psychic skills and capabilities, stuff like that. And she reverted back into I'm fine. And what book have you read recently?
See, the programmers never programmed her to understand that at all. We're going to talk more, Nance, when we come back, and we'll take phone calls in our final hour on Coast to Coast AM.
Find out more about tonight's guest. Log on to coasttocoastam.com.
So you don't have to bother. Bill handle. Don't waste your time. Mornings from 6 to 10 on KFI.
I had 3 cousins pass away from COVID-19. One of them I was very close with. This guy taught me how to get on the line as a football player. What I think people risk not getting vaccinated is death, whether it's their own life or the people that are around. Take it from me, the vaccine saves lives. Find a vaccine near you at myturn.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Dipped into the 70s last night. Feels like winter's arrived in SoCal. Better turn off that AC. And now, the top 5 reasons to visit Morocco. Number 5.
Gift a day giveaway. Get cookware, luggage, speakers, a different gift every day, Monday through Friday until December 21st, when you earn 500 points on your rewards card.
Number 4.
New Year's Eve white party. Bringing the new year right, all dressed up in white. Book your room now.
3.
Click Glass live December 18th. Get your tickets today.
And the number 2.
A wall of TVs at Sideline, big screens at the gaming pit, and everywhere else you eat, stay, and play means you won't miss a play.
And the number 1 reason.
Authentic Asian recipes aren't the only things that thrill at Moses. Check out a massive big screen there, too.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Morongo. Good times. Can you do the alphabet backwards? I'm attorney Darren Kavanoki from 1-800-NO-CUFS. Z-Y-S-W-V-U-T. Yeah, you got it. It's not easy. Now imagine the stress of getting pulled over and having to do that by the side of the road. It's enough to make anyone stumble. So if you find yourself doing the alphabet backwards, and it's not just for fun, ask to call 1-800-NO-CUFS. Since no one looks good in handcuffs, unless you're into that sort of thing. 1-800-NO-CUFS.
Help us provide more than 25,000 meals every week to kids in need in Southern California. Donate right now to the KFI Pastathon at pastathon.com. KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. Happy Friday. You made it through the week. It's time for your morning wake-up call. Here's Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Hello. Happy Friday to you. There's fog out there again this morning, so you had to leave a few minutes early yesterday to make it to work on time. Bet you should do the same this morning because it seems to be just as thick as it was yesterday. But we've got a cooler weekend ahead, which is going to be nice. A little more fall-like, if that's what you've been looking for. We've got lots to squeeze in this morning on your wake-up call. The latest COVID-19 variant, Omicron, is here. It's in LA County. Lebron James has been cleared to play with the Lakers again following his COVID-19 scare. A man was arrested in the murder of a music executive's wife during a home invasion in Beverly Hills. And just as we talked about yesterday on Wake Up Call that we figured would happen, did in fact happen. A possible government shutdown was avoided with the House and Senate passing a short-term funding bill. So we'll talk about kicking the can down the road this week with ABC's political director, Rick Klein. And of course we will start with that because that's the breaking news. And then I want to get into the Omicron variant of COVID-19 and what international leaders, what pressure they might be putting on President Biden to further stricter travel restrictions. And also want to look at the Supreme Court decision on the Mississippi abortion case and how it could change Roe v. Wade. What does that upcoming decision impact? How does it impact the political parties who actually might benefit from a decision one way or the other and who may not? So all that's coming up with Rick in just a few minutes. Well, let's start with some of these stories coming out of the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The latest COVID-19 variant has arrived in LA County.
The county health department says the person who contracted the Omicron variant most likely caught it during travel. The individual had flown to London, then South Africa, before returning to LAX. Health Director Barbara Ferrer says the person was fully vaccinated and is now self-isolating, and their symptoms are improving without medical care. Ferrer says a small number of close contacts in LA have been identified and to date have tested negative and have no symptoms. Beginning today, foreign travelers arriving at the LAX International Terminal can get a free rapid COVID-19 test. Steve Gregory, KFI News.
Well, Lebron James has been cleared to play with the Lakers again following a COVID-19 scare. James entered the NBA's COVID safety protocols Tuesday because he tested positive for the virus on Monday. The league says James has taken 2 more tests since then, and both were negative, and that's the protocol for the NBA. James is fully vaccinated against COVID-19. They have to take 2 tests a day apart. If both of those come back negative, then they are cleared, and apparently that was the case. A possible government shutdown has been avoided with the House and Senate passing a short-term funding bill. ABC's Rachel Scott says a government shutdown would have had some serious consequences.
We're talking about national parks that would be closed. TSA workers could be furloughed ahead of the busy holiday travel season. And even the CDC would experience furloughs.
Jennifer's husband, Scott, would have had to go to work and not get paid. The funding bill was passed yesterday. It was due to run out today. Smash and grab crimes across L.A. have cost retail stores some serious money.
LAPD Chief Moore says $338,000 worth of goods were stolen in 11 smash and grab crimes in L.A. from November 18th through the 28th. He says investigators think the items are going to buyers who don't care where they come from.
The individuals that are stealing these are taking them in bulk and then taking them, we believe, to swap meets and to vendors that are willing to buy the merchandise at a discount.
Moore says 14 arrests have been made and that the department is still working to arrest other thieves involved in the crimes. Blake Trolley, KFI News.
Well, a man's been arrested in the murder of a music executive's wife during a home invasion in Beverly Hills. Police say, Ariel Maynor was arrested Wednesday after he accidentally shot himself in the foot during a burglary in Hollywood Hills about an hour after Jacqueline Avant was shot.
Our focus now has transitioned from finding a suspect to a continuing investigation that will lead to a successful prosecution.
Beverly Hills Police Chief Mark Stainbrook says evidence collected in Hollywood Hills connected Maynor to Avant's murder, and his car was seen in the area not long after the shooting. And cops in Redlands are looking for a guy who broke into a home and touched a sleeping 10-year-old boy. He got into the bedroom through an unlocked window Wednesday morning and touched the boy over his clothing. Cops say the man took off after the kid woke up. When we come back, we'll talk politics and everything that's gone on this week with ABC's political director, Rick Klein. But TGIF, right back at you, Nick Paliochini.
Thanks, Jen, and it is a mess for the drive. First thing this morning in SGV, San Gabriel Valley, as you're making your way up through South El Monte, westbound side of the 60. Looks like this is going to be past Peck Road, maybe a little bit closer to Santa Anita Avenue. You've got a fatality crash investigation underway, and it has the 3 right lanes shut down. So your drive first thing this morning on westbound 60 going to be rough for the ride. Coming off the 605. Head west is an alternate, getting through the El Monte area. Off the 605 as you make your way toward Rosemead. Actually looks like a good alternative. Will save you definitely a bit of time this morning. Got an update on this problem or anything else calling you downtown 250 on your cell phone. Keyword is KFI traffic. Westbound side of the 91, just like clockwork, getting out of Riverside to Corona. Already patchy for your drive from before Los Sierra as you make your way past Green River. KFI and this guy helps get there faster. I'm Nick Paliochini.
5:06 on your wake-up call. Let's welcome this week's ABC's Rick Klein to wake-up call. Hi, Rick. Good morning.
Hey, great to be with you.
Hey, so let's start with this government shutdown and the funding that was passed. So we're kicking the can down the road to what, February now?
Yeah, we're back to another brinksmanship deadline in February. This was an interesting one because the conservatives were saying that there shouldn't be any government mandates around vaccines, and they said they were going to shut down the government because of it. But ultimately, they realized there's really no appetite for that, so they backed down, and we're back now looking at just different deadlines at different times.
All right, well, I guess for everybody who had a federal worker who was worried over the holidays, like me, who said, oh my gosh, are we really not going to get paychecks? We'll take a kick the can down the road in this case.
Yeah, better than nothing. And look, there's a lot of kicking and a lot of cans that have been happening recently, and for whatever reason, that's just become the way Washington's working.
Yeah, it really is. And are we ever going to get past that? I know I'm asking you to look into your crystal ball. I know that Washington loves a deadline, but come on now. This seems to happen every single time. It's a little bit boy crying wolf. It's like, when are we going to take this seriously?
Yeah, I think that's right. And I think, look, when you have divided government like this, you're going to have the power of almost anyone to hold something off for their pet priority. And that's going to be the reality, I think, as long as we're this closely divided. I think if one party or the other has a more clear majority, it changes the math, it changes the calculus. But in the absence of that, then I think we're stuck like this for a while.
Okay, now let's talk about the Omicron variant. First it shows up in the Bay Area, now it's in LA, now we've got it in 5 different states. How might international leaders be pressuring
sorry for
travel? And what does the president do? Because he's got to have a healthy balance of, we've got this thing under control, at the same time, we got to clamp down when we need to.
Yeah, I think you're seeing the White House recognize that people aren't going to do everything that they're told to do anymore. I mean, I think that even liberal Democrats feel like enough of the pandemic. So I think there's a bow to reality in some of the latest guidelines. There's not going to be more lockdowns. There's not going to be more shutdowns, basically because no one would do them if you told them to. But I think taking